Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's video. And guys, today I'm going to show you a bait that you probably have never fished before, but you need to start fishing it in the right situations, and that's a big 1 ounce rattle trap. Here's a size comparison. Here's a 1/2 ounce version that most people fish all the time, and you can see the significant larger size of the 1 ounce size compared to the 1/2 ounce. It's a big bait for big fish. And guys, when you get in the right situation, this thing can catch some big ones. And I'll tell you guys about how I found out about this bait and give you guys some good advice on what to look for if you'd like to try it sometime. Also, guys, before we get started, a couple quick things. Just like to invite everybody, anyone interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, you can do so by going to my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler. Just shoot me a private message for that. Get you all set up. And guys, thank you very much for everybody that's taking time to hit that subscribe button here to The Fishing Teacher. If you haven't done it, it's free and easy. Good way to push the channel out there and help it out. So really appreciate that. Okay, this 1 ounce rattle trap, guys, this is a highly situational bait, but under the right situations, man, it catches big ones. Let me tell you about how I've come to know about the 1 ounce rattle trap. We were fishing a Bassmaster I think it was a top 150 tournament down at Lake Guntersville in Alabama. And this has been a long time ago. This has been, God, probably 25 years ago at Lake Guntersville. And I was catching them really good. I was catching them on a jerk bait. Actually, I was catching them on an old Rebel spoonbill minnow down there, fishing it over the grass beds. And I was in the top 20 the first day of the tournament and caught a good bag the second day of the tournament. And the second day of the tournament, my buddy Brent Chapman was in that tournament, and he came by and saw me fishing, and he was struggling. It was like he had maybe two hours left to fish in the day, and he only had one fish in the boat. And I was fishing this big grass bed. I said, man, just come on in here and start fishing, Brent. There's a lot of fish right in here. And I was throwing the spoonbill Rebel and another jerk bait, and Brent put on this big 1 ounce rattle trap. I'd never even heard it before, and he wound up catching like 20 pounds or over 20 pounds in 2 hours on it. And from that situation, from just that one day of Brent catching those fish on it, it made me, saw how productive this thing was. So I want to give you guys some tips and advice on when you want to fish it and the situations it works good. Okay, first of all, the whole key for the 1 ounce rattle trap is you have to have water temperatures in the 50s. I've tried it in every other type of water clarity or water temperature. Water temperature in the 50s is when this thing works good. Doesn't matter if it's in the springtime of the year in the 50s or in the fall time of the year. 50-some degree water temperature, you just fish it in a couple different situations. Now, in the pre-spawn, during the springtime of the year, like in April, February, March, if you have submergent grass, hydrilla, milfoil, something like that, this is where this thing excels. That's the best situation for it. This fishing, say for example, the water's 5, 6, 7 foot deep and you got grass coming off the bottom a foot or two, perfect situation for the 1 ounce rattle trap if the water temperature's in the 50s. The other situation where I've caught them on good on it is fishing riprap for pre-spawn bass. So basically just get on a riprap bank when the water temperature's in the 50s, throw that thing up to the bank and just sort of slow crawl it just off the bottom, let it sink down and just sort of just fish it slow, just along the bottom, pump it up a little bit, fish it slow. Normally, a lot of people fish a lipless crankbait fast, but this time of year, you want to fish it slow. And that's the same in the grass bed. Let it sink down a little bit, get to that top of that grass, pump it up a couple feet off the bottom, go back down, pump it up a little feet. About coming in about this speed right here, what you want to do. Just fast enough to get those BBs rattling in it. And those big pre-spawn females will hammer this thing. Now, in the fall time of the year, it's a little bit different because the grass isn't really a factor even on those grass lakes, because usually the grass is matted, so it doesn't set up the same. And the riprap, I haven't done that good on because normally in the fall time of the year, they want a little bit smaller bait on riprap. But guys, if you have some off-colored water, say you have a lake that has, 1 to 2 foot of visibility, and if you have some lay down wood cover like logs or fallen down trees in the water, or even maybe some boat docks, take this 1 ounce rattle trap and fish it around the perimeter of that cover, just like you'd fish a spinnerbait. It's the same type of deal. Let's say come up to a lay down tree in the water and you look at that thing and say, man, I bet a spinnerbait would work around that. Try the 1 ounce rattle trap, just throwing it around the edges, little corners and stuff like that of the boat dock, down alongside a lay down log. And guys, those big ones will hammer this thing if that water temperature's in the 50s. and you got some lay down wood cover. And you really need the best lay down wood cover for that time of year is if you have it on a fairly steep bank where it drops off pretty good. That works really good for that. Now, since this is a 1 ounce bait, guys, you need to use it on some pretty heavy equipment. I usually use a medium heavy 7'2" bait cast rod. I use that Megabass Perfect Pitch, which is a medium heavy rod, and I'll normally fish it like on 20-pound test Seaguard and Vizex 4-carbon line. 20-pound line is perfect on this thing. That 7'2" rod really works good on it. You can really manipulate it. But guys, it's just one of those baits that just file it away in your memory box. I'll put the link to the Rattletrap link and my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys want to pick one up there. But if you get into those two scenarios, just have a couple of them in your box. Give it a try. The best colors that I have found are just the standards, you know, the black and gold and the blue back silver side. Seems like these work as good as anything in that situation. Brent was actually using the gold in that tournament when he caught that big bag at Rayburn on it. But anyway, it'll catch you some good fish in the right situation. So hope it helps out. We'll talk later.